Elliot. Elliot is a COO who wants to transition to a CEO role, but he's not getting interviews. And the question becomes, what's the key shift that he may need to make in how he presents himself? So it's sort of a shifting functional roles. And let's throw in there that it's in a different sector. Let's make it like super interesting.
Mhm.
So Judy, let's start with you and we'll bounce over to Mark.
Okay, so everybody, this again, I don't know who's on the call, but I hope this will resonate with you. Every company uses titles differently. So a COO in one company may really be operating at a CEO type level, and another company they may be a little bit more junior or have other people supporting them. So with that being said, don't lead with the fact that you're a COO. Lead with what value you brought. First of all, let's look at what are the necessary requirements to be a CEO, running a major organization, profitability, working with investors, maybe even doing fundraising, team leadership, growth and development, financial acumen. Those are the things that you want to highlight in your collateral, your resume, and other stuff. The title will come. Yes, you always, Harvard's motto was Veritas. So it's always about truth. So you're definitely, once someone sees you work at XYZ company, your title was COO. But by the time they get to that, the top part of your resume that is more of a marketing branding, a piece of collateral has already captured them. That you have what it takes to be a COO, but you're also talking about the successes, the KPIs that you've had in those areas that are very critical to be a CEO. So it's not an easy transition, particularly when you say you're switching industries as well. But if you can prove that you've been a successful leader in an organization, and definitely I know you've already looked at the job, you understand what the nature of the role is, and so you know that you have what they're looking for to be successful in that position. But that's the kinds of things you've got to translate those chief operating officer responsibilities into what pieces of those things are critical for the CEO role and how you have been successful in managing these different aspects.
Mhm. Mark.
Yeah, and with that, as the COO, most often you're inwardly focused. CEO, you're external at meets internal. So as I flip it to make it a differentiator in a positive way.
Hmm.
I would play up the strategic portions of your work, and every COO has some strategic portions. I'd highlight, and the optics in the resume should speak to strategy. And then the differentiation is I know how to take strategy and operationalize it. And there's a winning combination. Then, with regard to changing industries, I'd find some connection, whatever the industry is. There's consumer products, heavy industry, there are crossovers. And I pull those threads to show a crossover. And then I would position, I'm able to enter new markets with fresh perspectives and not be encumbered by a myopic view of one who's just lived through the industry.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd flip it and I'd make it work for me. And this is the magic of the position. And it takes a fair amount of expertise to get that just right. But that's how I would play it. But just know your vulnerability is be able to show the strategic more so, or over and beyond just the operational industry switch. You got to show connections and relevance, and somewhere you could find that thread.
Sometimes too, what I've seen there might be a COO in a very large organization where the division that they were responsible for is probably the size of maybe a smaller company. So they can even talk to how they've been really managing that whole major division, like the whole retail division of, let's say, Walmart or Amazon or something like that. As the chief operating officer, you've done a lot of things that are very similar to what a CEO would be doing as well. But like Mark said, being able to communicate that story. And the key that he said that's really critical is that CEOs are incredibly strategic. They're responsible for the whole organization. So I think that's a critical aspect that you've got to highlight.
Yeah.